I really have to turn off the AC when it feels so nice? It feels good and now it's gone. No more air conditioning. I do it for the people. I sit here and sweat so the people can hear me without noises. Hey, I'm Eric. I'm making a game. It's called The God Killer. It's a 3D top-down puzzle-solving adventure. I'm like playing with different tweaks to that description. The thing is, like, whatever I come up with, it's worth thinking about. I've been through this before. Whatever description I come up with for the game, I will end up having to say it. Let me not exaggerate. Hundreds of times. I don't want to say thousands. I don't want to say millions. I want to actually give a sense of just how many times in my life I'll end up describing the game. Because I'll type up descriptions that go on different portals, Steam, etc. I'll write out my marketing copy for it. I'll put it on a website. That's just all like the written promotional stuff. I'll be at some undefined at this time conferences demoing the game, maybe PAX, maybe other stuff, and I'll be explaining, well, here's what the game is. I'll be talking to people at a party, and they'll say, what are you working on? I say, this game. Oh, I like games. What kind of game is it? And I go, if I don't have that shit down, I know this from experience. It makes everything that I've done seem dreary and boring, like I'm apologizing for it. I'm absolutely not. So it's in my nature not to brag about what I'm doing. It may not seem that way to people who've been following this, but I know, because I had games before where I kind of took that gee shucks, it's nothing type of approach, and it's just a waste to do that. You want to say what's good about your game quickly. You want to do it well. You want to be practiced at it, because you'll have to do it hundreds of times, and you might as well do it right. And I don't know that I've hit upon a good way to explain what it is yet, but I will get lots of practice. I will. Now today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I normally demo the game. I start out with a demo of the game, and I'm not going to today, and there's a reason for it. The reason is that I've started a brand new project, and that project is meant to contain some code that will not go into the game proper. It is going to be a hand recorder. Now I have this device. I'm going to show it to you real quick here. This little device, what's it called? It's called a Leap Motion. It's small, and it records hand movements. It does it really well. It detects them, and there's some sample code that comes along with it that records those movements to a file. Now that's not the typical use case for it. The typical use case would be you have it hooked up live to your game or other application, and that application responds to you and your movements with hands. It's intended for like virtual reality, augmented reality, or I guess games and applications that just want to track your hand motions. I've tested it out. It works. It works quite well. There's a built-in application with it that records hand movements. I'm going to copy that code across in this new project. I'm going to use the Leap Motion not for my game directly, but for a utility that records data that is given to my game, and my game will make use of that data to animate the God hands. And the God hands are, and I see this is the problem. Like, I started a new project, but I can't easily switch to the other project. I kind of don't want to because it'll be really slow. It'll take like 2 minutes. But let me, I'll show you just real quickly on the weight screen. These 2 hands here are the God hands. This is kind of a doctored screenshot of them, but actually they look really close to this. The mesh that's used for them is the same. And if you followed along with previous videos, you'll have seen these hands gliding around the level, kind of hovering over the character, spinning around to position themselves so they face the character that you control. And the missing part for the hand animation is that they would gesticulate, that they might at times point or kind of shake a little bit along with like a certain syllable. Like I'm talking right now, I have many things to say to you. Let me do it with the full head view. How do we talk? Most people have got some hand motion in there, right? Some people have a lot. Some people are really dramatic with their hands. So see, like if I'm talking to you and I feel like, oh, there's something key that I gotta tell you, I might like bring my hands together like this, but still kind of constrained, right? I haven't like gone into anything major yet, but I'm like trying to get you ready, right? And then I say, and then put my hands out, and suddenly I'm drawing your attention to something else, and even, you know what it is? It's almost like you want your words to be heard, and you feel like you have to do a little bit extra. A little bit extra. It's a little bit like it's slightly desperate, isn't it? It's like, do you hear what I'm saying or not? Does waving my hands make it so that you're more inclined to listen to me? Okay, don't we all have kind of like a little bit of a fear that we can say things, and even though the words that come out of our mouths are going to be understood, that the other person is just not going to get us? I think that's what that gesticulation stuff is about. I think it's that little bit of extra energy that goes into making yourself heard. Okay? And then there's sometimes, though, when people, I don't know, they're not doing that, but there's spatial moments, I guess I'd call them, where you are picturing something spatial in your head, and it might not be something literally spatial. It might be like the organization of tasks or actions have to be performed, and you might think, first we do this thing, then we do this thing, then we do the third thing, and you might go left to right, because I think in most cultures, it might not be universal. Left to right is giving a sense of progress. So there's lots of kind of spatial elements that creep into your thinking as well, and hand gestures represent that. So we'll have spoken dialogue by the God character, who is shown as 2 hands, and I will have an actor record the dialogue for that character. And then I had a genius moment the other day. Previously I thought, well, this actor, he's going to have to learn how to use the leap motion and move his hands while he's acting, and every time that either he screws up his lines or he screws up his hand motions, I'll have to redo the line, because that will be the most efficient way, although arguably very inefficient, to capture the 2 things sync together. Because I was afraid, okay, I could try to sync up the animation, the recorded animated hand movements to the audio, but that seemed like a terrible task, because there's no such thing as a hand animation editor that gives you like the same sort of editing finesse and capabilities as a traditional video editor or audio editor. So I thought, no, I just got to get it like in a clean take. And then I had a third idea which beats them all and made me think, why didn't I think of that in the first place? I record the audio by traditional means and don't have the actor doing their hand motions while they're doing the audio, because it's already hard enough to get good VO. Complicating it with the hand motions is just going to result in some kind of compromise or exponential amounts of time being spent. So record the audio by traditional means, which is a process I'm very familiar with, and then, kind of like some stupid summer camp skit, play back the audio while I make the hand motions to the actor independently. So I'll have the finished audio in hand and available to me, and then I will record the hand motions along with it from myself, not from the actor, and there'll be no need to get both performances right at the same time, and that should save me just oodles of time. So some other recording plays like, that's not what your country can do for you, and I go and done. I think it's going to work great. Alright, so back to the project at hand. I'm curious also, because I'm starting with a brand new project here, how long it takes Unity to start playing if there's just nothing there yet. I'm going to do that test right now. Play. 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. That's the best case scenario. I think I'm around 30 seconds, maybe more, on my main project, where it has to build a whole bunch of stuff before it starts. Let me try. Now that it did one play already, let me try a subsequent play. 1, 2, 3. Tiny bit faster. Okay. So let me see. Can I rename the sample scene? Actually, I don't really want that at all. So I'm going to move the stuff that I know is germane to my task. I'm going to move it into the new hand recorder project under assets. Okay, so let's come back here, get those assets importing. I think I will plug in my Leap Motion. It comes with a proprietary cable. There's USB on one side and Crazy Alien on the other. Meaning, like, I think nobody uses this except for Leap. And I found out, I noticed the video on my camera stopped updating for a bit after I plugged in the Leap Motion. Now I'm putting my system under heavy USB load right now. It's got USB microphone, it's got the Leap Motion, it's got a cam, it's got all my peripherals, keyboard, mouse, it's got a disk drive, it's got 2 disk drives plugged in via USB. I think it's actually a design flaw of modern systems that they don't seem to take into account that your USB bus needs to have like a lot of shit plugged into it these days. Okay, so let me just open up one of the example scenes. record and playback. Let's see if this even works. If it works out of the box, it's like that's most of it right there. I did have it working before. So that is doing a playback right now. I'm going to stop the playback. And I have no idea. This is usually a little bit finicky. It does seem to be responding to me, but maybe not that well. Let me keep fiddling with it a little bit. I'd like to see it. Okay. So it's doing one hand, but not two. I was pretty sure I had two hands going before. I'm going to keep playing with it. Yeah. So it's doing one hand. It does seem to have like some kind of interpretation of if it's the left or right hand. I just don't know why it's not allowing me to have more than one hand there at the same time. I felt like I had better tracking before. It might be like a fighting for USB type thing. So I'm just curious if I can get two hands at the same time. Let me begin recording. Okay, there's right. It is tracking pretty well with my hand. Not perfectly. Yeah. I can't seem to have two hands on it at the same time. That's a strange thing. I mean, in theory, I could record one hand at a time, but earlier I did have two hands. I don't know if it was in this app or... Oh, so now it's playing back my last motion. And it saved the recording to a file. It's playing back, I think, pretty faithfully what I gave it. All right. So let me see. I just want to see if all of these have that same issue. is like buried down in the pile. But can I have two hands? Can I just have a two hands? Can I have two? I definitely had two hands in some other demos. Okay. So I think there's something a little bit off here. That is not the application. It's like maybe the configuration of the leap or something along those lines. Let me just Google, because this is probably a problem someone else had before. Leap motion only tracks one hand. Let me play this other demo. Hand detection. See what the deal is here. Okay, this one is more basic, and it seems like it should get both hands. I'm gonna try unplugging and replugging back in the leap, just in case there's like just something that needs to reset a little bit. Okay. Got a little spinny going on. Oh, I might have messed up the app. Let me start it over fresh. Yikes. Now I got nothing. It's like I was greedy, asking for too much. Okay, there's my left. There's my right. There's my left. Why not left and right? Why not left and right? Why one at a time? I did not have that before. Okay, let's see if I can find some settings on this thing. Where were those at? Starting up a Leap Motion app. Oh god. Oh god. No. Okay. It's still kind of like, even in their own demo, like the very first one that starts up, it's only showing one hand at a time. So I don't know. Yeah, I did that. I did that part. I can do it again. if you want. Maybe in the back here it's loose or something. Let me mess around with that a little bit. God, that's a fucking annoying app you got there, Leap. I don't like that. Okay. So I feel like there's some janky reason I'm not getting two friggin' hands at the same time. But because I've gotten it to work before, and it might be something as simple as like not having as much USB stuff going on at the same time, or rebooting the computer. Because I've gotten it to work before with two hands, I'm going to proceed with a certain amount of confidence in the record and playback doodad here, to make some changes in additions to it. One thing I wanted to do was isolate it a little bit. So alright, let me just make sure this is still going. Yeah, so there's some USB related stuff. It's probably the bus is strained with all of the doodads I have plugged into it at the same time. It's interesting to me that that same annoying screen that tells me to plug in is built into this other Unity app. So something in the SDK they provide will show the screen if they think that the device is not connected or responding correctly. Okay. So, record and playback. What do you have inside of you? The hand controller. Okay. So hand controller has got some scripts attached to it. What else has got scripts? Camera's just a camera. Light's just a light. What's this? Some GUI text. Some more GUI text. Plug-in leap notice. Oh, that's the thing I was talking about. So there's a texture that's got all that stuff that they show. Okay. So looking at this project, all the code in it is initiated from the hand controller. A recording control script. That one's going to be key. So let me open that one up. What did I even change there? Okay, I'll save that. So the thing that I need to extract from here without pulling the whole sweater thread that's connected to all this SDK code and everything is playback. And the playback needs to not require like the leap motion to be connected to it. So I was thinking, just as a way to kind of see what's actually needed, one thing I could do is just make a copy of that one scene. Huh. But actually there's a lot of shared code here. It's not just put into one place. Okay. Let me think about this. I want to end up with some code that just plays the hand animation from the file. Start thinking of an approach, writing it down. Okay. And by the way, on this session, I always have a session goal, and I kind of don't give up until I hit that session goal. Every once in a while I kind of walk away in defeat, but almost every session, the thing that I set out to do is done by the end of the session. And if I was smart, I would quit right now, because initially all I was going to do was set up a new project with the leap motion recorder working inside of it, and I did that. But there's like too much time left on the clock, and so it's only 6:16, and I gotta pick another goal for myself. So play that code. So that's like maybe an intermediate goal. Let me think what my end goal really is. I may not get this done in this session. I'll pick some other appropriate intermediate goal. End goal: can play hand animations, recorded hand animations inside God Killer game. No leap motion redistributables or friggin' USB connection. Device needed, or device needed, or connected device. Okay. That's the end goal. So I'm thinking my approaches. Number one, start in God Killer, copy across code until it works. I think that's not very good, because the thing is, when I'm inside of this new project that I created, I have this one scene the hand recorder that is kind of like the example of everything working. And if I just leave this project and go over to the God Killer project, start copying code, every once in a while I'm going to wonder about the right way to do it when it works, and I'll be outside of the project where it works, so I'll have to keep jumping between the two projects. So that seems like a pain. So number 2, isolate playback code in minimal. Let's see. Create a player scene. In hand recorder project. Copy code over until it works. Use different namespace for code. Okay. So number 1 is kind of a loser. I'm going to just delete that right away. I think this is the approach, so I'll detail it just a little bit more. I think that's the gist of it. Okay, so just recording controls, hand controller, main, play recording. It's a hand controller. Phew, this might get a little bit messy. Okay. Hand controller, main, get leap recorder, hand controller main, play recording. Huh. So hand controller is just a class that is in the same namespace. It could be in any of these directories. So what is it? Assets, leap motion, assets. All right. It's under scripts. Leap motion scripts, hand controller. It's a mono behavior. So it gets attached to those hands, I guess. It's weird for me to see this stuff inside of here. There's something in here if we get in the player. Get loop recorder. Okay, so inside of its update, it's got stuff here to update the positions of the digits, the hand models. It updates the hand models. For the thing where you get the player. Okay. Plane. Main play recording. Okay. What's main? That just returns kind of like it's like a singleton pattern. So if you say main, you're saying I want the main hand controller. Okay, so that's just this class again, but this is a static method you could call if you don't have an instance to a hand controller yet to get the main hand controller, or the first one if there's more than one main hand controller. Okay, play recording. Play recording. Okay, so that's gonna recorder play. Path equals recorder save the new file. Okay. So some kind of like random path thing that's generated here when you saved a new file. Now if you come back to it, is the path set someplace? It played something last time I started up. I just don't know where it got that path from. Let me see everything that there is in here about path. Finish and save recording. Oh, that'll be back over here. Okay, so that saves that there. And then it forgets the path after that, I think. So I'm curious where it gets its first path to use for playing. Yeah, because when I start it, it just plays. It plays something. I don't really understand like where it gets its initial playback. So when it starts, maybe it's in this hand controller stuff here. When it starts, it seems to begin playing right away. Ah, somebody texted me. I'm gonna grab my phone. So, I know that if I create a new scene, it's just a duplicate of the other scene. It'll work right away, but well, I don't know that, but I expect it'll work right away. But as far as beginning to remove the things that I don't need, I can't do that by changes to the scene. I have to do that by changes to these classes that are called by the scene. So what I can do is I can make a kind of top-down copy. I can start by making a copy of the scene, and then I'll make sure it works, and then the next top level file, I edit that, I delete all the stuff I don't need out of it, and make sure everything still works, and I keep going down. And this is like, this hand controller will be like the first level where it starts to get complicated. But I would go inside of here and say, okay, I don't need this. I don't need this. Delete, delete, delete. But I won't do it to the original file. I'll do it to like a copy, like hand controller 2. And then I'll just kind of whittle it down. That may, let's see, it's got some imports in here. Hand control prefab. Drop a hand control prefab into a scene. But one thing I need to do is break the connection between the Leap SDK, which I will not distribute in any form, and the device. So this might take a while. So my goal for this session is to have a project copy that is the starting point for this effort, and I feel like I don't want to commit to more than that, because I struggle to create a task beyond that I know I can finish this session. And I absolutely hate ending the session without my task done. It's like Meeseeks from Rick and Morty. Meeseeks, Mr. Meeseeks, not able to complete his task. I freak out a little bit. So give me a simple task so I can get done in a couple hours and we're all good. I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Come back, Unity. Come back. Alright. Now I'd just like to know if you will let me play and see something. Okay, you still are confused about the availability of the device. Unplug and I'm going to plug back in. Okay. This may not be resolvable. Actually, this might be one of the most useful things for me to change right away. The insistence upon, oh, now I've got a good session goal. Now I've got it. I'll make this thing run without insisting that a device be connected. I like it. Now I'm happy. Meeseeks has a goal that can be accomplished. An easy thing. Okay, hand recorder, assets, scenes. Let's call this and player. Okay, so I saved hand player to a new location. I'm gonna hit play again to verify that it's giving me the same behavior. Perfect. Now, the hand controller has got the hand controller script, which I will switch over to a copy pretty quick. Okay, recording controls. Let's see, where is the code that makes that stupid notice pop up? It's probably in hand controller. Okay, plug-in leap notice. Is that passed through any of these? No. Does that have? No. Oh, there's a sample recording. Okay. Cool. Okay, so let me see if I can just do this one at a time. The first one to change is this recording controls. So I'll start with that. Recording controls 2. Okay. And I'll rename the class here. In fact, I'll even be... Let's do... namespace God Killer. Come on, I saved you. Where are you at? Did you go some other weird location? What the hell? No, you're right here. You're in scripts. That's fucking annoying. Alright, let me just build everything, see what happens. Alright, I'm just not going to do this stuff here. Let's take that out. It's nice having fast builds again. Okay, recording controls. I'm going to change it. Let's see. This can go away. Okay. So does that work so far? Okay. So I'm curious what displays the plugin leap notice. It's got no script attached to it. I mean, it's just an asset. And all the script that seems worth anything is over here. Enable game object script. Let's take a look at that. Maybe that does something. No, I don't think so. Let's look at hand controller. So what was it called again? Plugin leap notice. Okay. Just gonna search the whole friggin' code base for it. None? How do you know to show it? So that is curious to me, because you could find it in a limited number of ways. Oh, disconnection notice. Here it is. Okay. So if I just uncheck that and I hit play, there. Now I'm back to a lack of restriction. Okay. Cool. I'll even get a little bit crazier and I'll just friggin' delete it. Just delete it. I love deleting stuff. If I hit play, I think it'll still work without any issue. Yep. Cool. Okay. So I've already achieved my session goal 2 times. I have to keep picking like new session goals because I'm having so much success. Let me see. This is kind of like a stretch goal. What else do I want to achieve? I think I know what it is. I want... this is risky to say it out loud. Once I say it, I gotta do it all. Let me take a look real quick, see how hard this is gonna be. So hand controller. But okay, I'll let you in on the secret. I'm not saying this is my goal yet. It's like I have my hand on the chess piece, but I haven't moved it yet. My goal, tentatively, is to make a version of this that works with all copied source. So I think I would let myself continue to use Leap, but anything that's in scripts, let's see, what's this? Okay, these are demo resources. Definitely nothing within demo resources will I be using. Inside of this part over here, there's hand controller. I want a copy of that. Okay, anything under the Leap namespace, I'll allow myself to use. Anything else has to be a copy. And to make it just a little bit harder, I'm going to put fire around the flame, the ring I gotta jump through. I'll say that the source code files have to be moved to the different directory that is just for that one scene project. That will help me make sure that I'm not like getting something from the old namespace accidentally. Okay, so let me save this. I want to close that. File, save as. There. No, not. Dang it. Dang you. And here. New folder. CS. Okay. You go there. I don't get what's up with this comment color here. By the way, I will follow the open source licensing. I will put the I will put the code out for this. Well, that is something I've got to think about, because I don't want to put out the code for my entire fucking project just because I'm using some of this code. God damn it. I mean, I know how to set it up so that I don't have to worry about it too much. It's going to be a pain in the ass. License under Apache 2.0. Alright, let me just double check the Apache license. I don't mind open sourcing stuff, but I do not want to open source my entire game, because it just would invite some lame clone shop someplace to make a really cheap copy of my work, just really cheap. Alright. This is excruciatingly boring for anyone who's watching it, but I gotta do it, and this is when I'm doing it. Okay. Grant patent. Transfer the work and such derivative works. Subject to the terms and conditions as each contributor hereby grants you blah blah blah. That's what I get. Now I'm looking for my obligations. The work is basically that source code that I was looking at. Since license applies only those patent claims, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about patents. If you institute patent litigation, nope. I never care about doing anything related to patent claims. I make no patent claims. Redistribution. I can reproduce and distribute that source. As long as I do this other stuff. To give any other recipients of the work or derivative works a copy of this license. Easy. Easy. Let's cause any modified files to carry prominent notices stating that you changed the files. Okay. So I would not be redistributing source. I think what I would be distributing would be called a derivative work. Let me double check their definition of derivative work. Source or object form, like the binary that's created by a Unity build. Yeah, okay. Okay. So I would not be distributing the work, which is the source code. I would be distributing the derivative work, which is my build. In the source form of any derivative works that you distribute. Now, I will not distribute source unless there's some reason why I have to, and then I'll think about it. Okay. If the work includes a notice text, files, blah, blah, blah. So the any derivative works that you distribute must include a readable copy of the attribution notice contained within such a notice file. So, I'll check that. I'll check that. If there is a notice file, I don't care. I can. It's so weird though. Like, suppose you distribute something that it's just a pure binary distribution. Nobody looks at its files at all. I mean, it says must include a readable copy. So I have a display screen someplace, credits, that puts whatever stuff they want to be there. Okay, within notice text files. Oh, okay, they give me some options. One of the following is you can put it within a notice text file, distribute with the works, within the source form or documentation, if provided along with the works, which I don't want to do, or within a display generated by the derivative works, aka a credit screen. Yeah, that would be the normal place to put them. Contents of the notice file for informational purposes only and do not modify the license. Add your own attribute notion. Okay. Okay. So far, I've not seen a requirement to distribute the whole source of my work along with this. So it's got no kind of like copyleft protection to it. So far that I've seen. Okay. Don't want to use the trade names. Warranty, it's provided as is. I expect nothing. Limitation of liability, you guys can't be liable. Additional warranty, additional liability, that's fine. It's a very simple license. Very easy. I wish all legal agreements were written with this level of clarity and simplicity, but they aren't. They're lawyer vomit, most of them. But this is beautifully simple. I'm glad to comply with it. Happy to. And I will say it out loud, to be in the spirit of open source. I'm already going to be in the letter. I'm going to be in the letter of the law here, but to be in the spirit of it, if anyone sees some code related to recording hands or playing back hand stuff that is created by this session or others, or as part of the game, you can ask me for this relevant source code, and unless there's some real obstacle to it, I will provide it. I'll license it. I'm not gonna just license the whole damn game. It would just be a big fucking myself in the ass type move. There's no reason for me to like preemptively license stuff unless somebody asks for it, because then it's just kind of a waste of time. Okay, so I'm going to make some notes to myself here about what I just learned, legally speaking. You'll have to, Eric, you have to include a license notice in the credits screen. No requirement to distribute source code. And I'm going to just look real quick. Did they include a notices file? Because if they did, then I will be legally obliged to include it. They did not. They did not include a notices file. Yep, I did not see a notices file. Okay. Okay, so that got moved over. Then there's this other file. If anybody was watching the video, no doubt they dropped off right there. That was just way too boring for anybody. Maybe like the lawyer who wrote the Apache license might have like appreciated that last bit there, but everybody else bored as fuck. They stopped watching. Okay, what? I gotta get my head back into this. Okay, scenes. Scripts. And demo resources, that's where it was. Scripts. Take recording controls 2. Just move it over to here. I'll rename it recording controls. I'll change the namespace of it. This is like the lamest integration of an IDE with a file system ever. It's so bad. So I copied some files over to this directory. They're there. They are there. They are there. It's under assets. I click refresh on this. I don't know. You really suck, man. You suck. Quit. Cancel. Don't say that. Cancel. What's that? Okay, save that. Close. Refresh. Oh, you suck. Okay, so if I say I want I'm going to have to give them unique names or I'll never be able to find them. You're looking in the wrong spot. Oh, thank you for finally recognizing what files I have on my system after everyone else in the entire whatever. Okay, so now it's complaining. Let's give everything even a different name. Let's call it GK recording controls. So it's that. Let's call this GK recording controls. I have to let's see what happens when I build that. I've seen this kind of thing before. One thing that seems to help is if I rename these files to match their classes. Duh. It's like this GK hand control. Okay. Alright, this down here I can just delete. Here's where it gets iffy. Okay, hand model. Hand model, where do you come from? Not demo resources. Right here. So this is the start of the sweater thread. Hey, Kamikaze Toy. It's not going bad. It's not going bad at all. I've been like a little under the weather. Had a cold, but I still got stuff done even when I had a cold. Doing leap motion stuff now. So I'm trying to kind of pull out just the minimal amount of source code from the Leap's SDK to get something done that I want. And I'm hoping it's not going to be immensely challenging. What's been going on with you? Alright, this is going to be a sweater thread. Wow, we all gotta suck sometimes. Alright, so I know I'm going to need finger model. So let me just come back here to see if I've got this building yet. Oh wait, no, over here I've got to change all the hand models to GK hand models. Okay, might as well just do it and search in place. And model 42 instances. Which one is it changing? Okay. No, don't do that one. trying to make a discrete copy of the code that I need. Yeah, okay. That's it for that. So now, let's see what hand model set controller and control. Now you should be okay here. Let's build all, see what else fails. Okay, so fingers, that would be the finger model. So copy finger model over. Finger model. Is it gonna pull in other stuff too? Yeah. But if it comes in from the Leap namespace, I'm okay with it. It's just this other code that should be like demo only code that I want to avoid. So this is GK finger model. Yeah, cool. Save all that. Build, what's the next error? What's the next error? Fingers, what? Oh wait, fingers, where do I get fingers from? Set controller. I thought I fixed that. Let me check. Nope, I didn't fix it yet. Tool model. That's the next one. Tool model. Where does tool model come from? Okay, that's fine too. There's another way I could have gone about this task, and I won't know until it's too late if the other way would have been better. And that would be, instead of trying to copy over these mirror files and then whittle them down, if I were to instead try to isolate the code I actually needed and just bring that over little by little. But what I opted to do instead was kind of make the simplest set of mirrored code, a discrete namespace, and then after I got that working, just start deleting bits of it that I don't actually need. So it kind of depends on how many of these sweater threads there are. It's giving me the illusion right now that I'm almost done, but I might not almost be done. So let me see, what was that build error again? Tool controller, yeah, that one there. So they say GK tool model. Yeah. Okay, where's create tool? What? I don't get that. What's the deal with that? Cannot convert type tool model. Oh, because of this. Okay. I just need to get all of those replaced. So the tool model changes to GK tool model. Nope, not that one. Well, look at that. I got it to compile. Oh, I might be close to hitting my session goal. So if it plays, I still gotta get these things set up right. But if it plays out, okay. If there's the recording controls, I'm gonna add my replacement hand controller, and then kind of make it match this top one. Is main, yes. Separate left, right, yes. Glue. Okay. Seems to be confused about what assets are available to it. It might be because the new directory position. Let's see, I'm looking for the low robot full left hand. Yeah, I'll follow what I was. Okay. Full left hand. Go here. Oh, it doesn't want to do it. I don't get it. Why not? Why would you not allow me to drag the hand model there? Why? It doesn't seem right. So it works up here. Let me just see. Like if I was going to move this over here, would it? Yeah, it would. It accepts it. Move it down here. No. No. I think I know why. Because I created this new class, and if I look at the hand controller, it's not asking anymore for hand models, it's asking for GK hand models. So I would have to drag something over that was a GK hand model, or it would have to be like a prefab that had the GK hand model script in it. So what I can do, I can continue taking these guys, putting them in this other new folder structure. Prefabs. Okay, let's duplicate these, rename them, or just move them first. Okay, move them over to, so painful, prefabs. Alright, so now I have some copies here. Just rename. Let me fucking rename it. There it is. Okay. GK left hand. GK right hand. Okay. Left hand. So I'm kind of looking for the script. I wonder if skeletal hand derives from hand controller. I go open it up and check it out. Hand model. Hand model. Okay, so hand model. So this is another thing that has to get pulled over and redone. So copy that, paste it here. Say it's a GK skeletal hand that derives from GK hand model. Take a look through it. I think I must be close. I must be very close at this point. Okay, so what I can do here, add in my new controller, and it's gonna get palm. Okay, palm, and it's gonna get forearm. Okay, remove this guy. Remove that one. So that is left hand. And I want to take care of right hand too. Oh, I've not saved in forever. Save the project. Save the scene. Okay. Prefabs. Right hand. Add in GK skeletal hand. Give it palm and forearm. Okay, yank that one out. Okay, I must be close. So now, should be able to drag left, yes, right, because they have to be a matching class, and I changed the class. Okay, so what else? None, none, none. Destroy hands, 111, boom. Enable record playback. Sample recording. So that should be identical. I remove this component. Okay. Key enable game objects. This is like the last remaining script. It was just a tiny little one. Do I really need it? What's it for? If unlock hold, what does this do? So on each update, it's checking. Some kind of fiddling with the input. I don't really need it. I'm gonna hit play just to verify before I delete it that this thing works. Save. Play. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. It's a little screwy. It should have those digits coming off the hand there. God. Do I want to see if I can fix that for this session? This thing here with line 1, 2, 3 is weird too. I don't think that's too important. Let me just take a quick look at the left and right hand. I'm not promising I'm going to fix it. I think I already met my session goal a couple of times. So I'm not going to feel bad if I stop here. But I'm going to take a look at these hands. So it might be something like palm and forearm are expected to have certain things attached to them with certain scripts. So palm. It's got all the digits there. There is a script. Skeletal finger. Skeletal finger. Skeletal finger. You get copied over. Okay. I'll do that. Build all. I wish I could copy values over a little more easily than this. This might suck a little bit. So, skeletal finger. So all this stuff. Could I just go down like that? That would be great if I could, but can I copy? So I can copy the component, but I can't paste its values over here because even though it has the same properties here, it's a different class, so it won't let me. So I think I have to go, but then I got this trouble of like which bone one. If I go bone one, there's 5 of them, 1 for each finger, so it's okay. I see how it's supposed to work. need to do the one that's associated with the thumb. So bone 1 goes here, bone 2 goes here, bone 3 goes here, and that should be 1 done. 1 of 10 done. 1 down, 9 to go. The sad thing is, now that I started on this, I feel like I gotta finish this before I can say I'm done. So okay, thumb is done. Ring. It'll go faster. Now that I see the pattern, looks pretty simple. 1, 2, 1, 3. Move the top. 8 left. Pinky. Add the skeletal finger. Bone 1 through 3. Pinky, middle. Alright, I think this puts me 50% of the way through the fingers. Before I walk away from this, let me just double check that I got each in there. Okay. Okay, left hand done, on to right hand. I just go through the same way. Eight down, 2 to go. Last one. Okay. So now, try it again. Oh, I better save it first. Save project. Play. No, still not there yet. Oh, I didn't get the recompile. Hold on. Sometimes I start it before the change was actually... Nah, I don't know if that explains it or not. So the hand model, skeletal hand, GK skeletal hand, GK skeletal fingers. Okay, that comes from the hand model. GK skeletal finger model, that comes from GK finger model. Let's try it one more time. We'll play. I think it won't work. Let's see what the console log says. Oh, here we go. Of course, it might have said that on the other stuff too. I don't know. The active main hand controller warning, I think, comes from the USB not being set up right. It's probably the same for the other one. I'm looking for something related to the fingers. Kind of being drowned by these other messages, but I think it's just those two error messages. So let me see. Skeletal hand. Start. Fingers eye. Okay. Let's see if this gets called. Where does... Okay. So I'm interested to see if it has initialized the fingers or not. So let's try that breakpoint. Okay, what does fingers look like? There's 5 of them. They're all null. So it failed to find the fingers. So let me go take a look at that code that would set the fingers. I think it's in the base class, because by the time it gets to start, they're already set. Hand model, or GK hand model. So let's see, fingers I equals. Wait a minute. Do you, Eric Hermanson? Shogunshi. How do I know you're not just a bot that figures out the name of a person and says, the somebody? I gotta deal with a lot of bots these days. That would be a good bot to write, though. One that just comes on to channels and sort of figures out the name of the person. Oh, cool. Draw player. Yeah. No, thanks for playing the game. Yeah, I'll make another game like Drod, but 3D and with some new mechanics that I couldn't put into the original Drod game. Well, you know what? If whether I'm in the industry or not is debatable. Got a day job that pays the bills quite well. I get off work and come home and work on a game. And I have not written games for some years, and I just got the urge to make another one. So that's how I'm spending my time, my free time. Let's see. Yeah, and if you like Drod, I think the new game, you'll probably like it too. It's got that same stepping mechanic to it. For sure. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like there wasn't anything like Unity back in the 90s. I guess there was something kind of like it, SDL. But yeah. No, that's a far cry from it, actually. Okay, so I'm saying that. So I need to see where fingers get set. No, for real. No, if I was somebody just starting to write games or code, and like Unity was there would be no turning me away from it. Like if I was like a teenager and then I saw like I can make all this stuff this fast and easy, it would just be like scary, delightful. You would not be able to turn me away from that machine. Where's the place where it gets set? Where do the fingers get set? Yeah, it was confusing. Okay, fingers. Fingers. Here's the fingers. Then how do they get set? Huh. Oh, maybe, okay, maybe, oh, okay. So those are public, so they get set in the inspector. I've spent way too long thinking about that. Play. Okay, so they should already be set. They should already be set by the time it gets there. So GK left hand, GK right hand, go to left hand. Fingers are set here. Okay, that's my problem. That's my problem. I gotta set those fingers. Cool. So they must go in a certain order though. I want to go check out the other hand that's set up correctly to see what the right order is to put these fingers in. For that, go down to the Leap Motion Assets, Non-Human, let's look at the left hand, fingers. So it starts with thumb, okay, thumb, index, middle, ring, pinky. Okay, so thumb out, and then you gotta set palm and forearm, which I already did. Okay, no problem, no problem. Wait a minute, I totally forgot. Was the first one thumb, or was the fourth one thumb? Yeah. First one is thumb, okay. Thumb. Thumb to dum dum. Thumb. Nope, does not like that. Why not? Because thumb is oh, I thought I changed this. Where am I at? Mine left hand? No, you're in Glow Robot left hand. Okay, cool. So then let's go back to here. GK left hand. Let me do thumb, index, middle, pinky. No. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Pinky. Okay, that's one. I should do that one. Doesn't need wrist or elbow. Go to right hand. I'm assuming it's going to go the same direction. So the thumb, index. No, not middle. Okay. Save. What do my fingers look like? Good. Hit play. That should all be good. Beautiful. That is my session goal. That was what I wanted to get done for this session. Actually, it's like 2 stretch goals past the original session goal, but it's definitely a victory point. It's where I'm going to stop. So what did I accomplish? I actually sort of got to the status quo that I was at before, except that it was all in a set of isolated code. And now that that code is kind of like the minimal set of code that's needed for playback, or at least the start of it, is all together in one place, I can start chipping away at it and kind of deleting stuff that I know I won't need, whittling it down, taking out anything that seems to require or reference the Leap Motion SDK or the device. Just yank it out, so that all I'm left with is some code that that plays hand animations from files. That's all I want left in there. I'm in a good place to continue with that simplification effort. So that's my stopping point. It was nice. Shokanshi and Kamikaze Toy, to have you join in. Thanks for stopping by. Very cool to have a Drod player accidentally stumble across me. Hey, Drod. Drod. And then I'm going to stop the stream. It already seems to be stopped. Weird. Okay, I guess I already did stop the stream. There's something iffy going on here. It's like OBS is not appearing. So I don't actually know if I'm streaming or not. Oh, there we go. Okay, I was going. Now I'm stopping the stream. I just had found a way to hide OBS that I'd never done before.